Hello, listener. How are you doing? How are you doing, buddy? Oh, mate. Oh, yes. Delicious. You're listening to the NeverFap Deluxe Daily. My name is Julius Reed, and here is our theme tune. Our theme tune. Yeah, that's how we do it. That's our theme tune. And what we like to do on the show, we like to discuss topics of variety and using words in the English language or Espanol. I don't know any Spanish. I was going to say Mexican, but I was like, is that a language? And then I was like, well, no, just offending everyone. You're listening to the show, and I am giving the show. I guess I'm giving the show in real time, aren't I? It's like you listening is me talking. That's crazy. But you know what's not crazy? The checkup. Checkup, a non-crazy segment where Daddy Dr. Reed, non-crazy man, looks up to you because he's upskirting you. But in addition to that, he's checking up on you, of course, medically. He's like, oh, why's your lungs hanging out? It's like, it's because I got cancer. And then obviously we have makeup cancer sex, and it's great, of course, assuming you're a hot girl. I only do hot girls, but I'll do like elderly, maybe like even dead women I'm into. So, hey, talking about dead women, much like my sex life, the checkup, how are you coping with life? How you doing? Are you sad? Are you, a lot of people are sad these days because, COVID and like people dying. It's like, Gran's dead because COVID. Well, not to fear, because I'm here to smash the perspective into you. Kind of like a sack tap, except, obviously much more violent, using a hammer. Yeah, so how are you coping? And, if not coping right, that's okay. It's all about changing our strategy so that we can cope better. We can cope without suffering. We can cope with the read. A great way to cope, I find, is to, get a credit card out, donate some money to NeverFap Deluxe. You'll feel great afterwards. Don't worry about paying it off. It's all about wealth transfer, from subhuman to read. So I'm kidding. Or am I kidding? Ooh, contention. Did you meditate today? Meditation is important for developing awareness, for being able to remain calm. Those things, very, very good. Did you exercise today? Exercise is going to help you improve your physical health, which in return affects your mental health as well. Because there's no point, being sluggish or, especially if you've had a particularly carby meal, Doritos or something, then you will feel lethargic afterwards. So that's diet, not exercise. That's lol jokes, a fail, ha, kids. Remaining calm, obviously important. Awareness, important. What are you going to do differently? If you're not going to do anything differently, that's fine, because things may be working out for you. Maybe you want to... learn a language or something. Maybe you want to focus on specific things. Maybe you want to have moments of awareness throughout the day. There's NeverFap Deluxe practices on the website, and there's all these great little practices. A great practice is every hour you have a moment where you acknowledge, okay, it's been an hour, and it's great to train your awareness, which will help you effectively cope better, stronger, sexier. So that's how I maintain it on the show, which brings us to, that's the end of the checkup. I don't know if you've been shortchanged. Of course you have. But the topic. Topic header there, bringing us into the new age of read. The topic is never blame your circumstances. Everyone's like, I don't have time, or I want to be more productive, so it's kind of like masturbation helps with that, or I've always been addicted, and it's like excuses. That's what blaming your circumstances are. They're just excuses. Of course, it can help to understand why they're excuses, which is why continue listening so Daddy Reed can help you. And I think that's the worst. Yeah, it's just hard when you're helping people, or you're trying to help people, and you're trying to engage in sort of, meaningful recovery discussion. But then, someone's always like, oh, well, I've always struggled with porn and all this stuff. And it's like, I've had enough. Daddy Reed's had enough. Die. You must die. Please die. Please die. Just die. Don't live. Don't. Just stop living. Stop living. You're not worth living. Okay, I'm joking. But internally, that's kind of how I feel sometimes. Here's the deal. Here's the little money shot, if that's what the TLDR. Here's what you want to hear. For starters, your past has nothing to do with what you can achieve today. And I can confirm that. It doesn't matter if you've been addicted for like 20 years, if you know if you understand the technique of mental balance and how to become mentally balanced right now, you can literally do it instantly, right? It doesn't matter how long you've been going for. It's all a matter of perspective and technique. Once you hit that point, I mean, that's kind of what it was like for me. I was struggling for like 15 years, and then I had that moment of, oh, so this is what letting go is. And from that moment, it was like a 300 plus day streak. You just need to understand the fundamentals, and you need to understand how you can promote the fundamentals in your life. Once you understand that, recovery becomes easy. Like, it becomes so easy because you know exactly what you're doing and you have 100% confidence in your recovery. That's how you go from, not making it to making it. So, I mean, it is a gradual process, especially in terms of meditation. I think the problem with meditation is like a lot of people get like 80 or 90% of the way there, but it's that last 10% they don't quite get. It's like they understand calmness and they understand awareness, but they don't truly let go. And it's understandable because it's like it's like a fundamental shift. I don't know if you've learnt languages before, but there's like a certain point where it sort of clicks. Programming is probably the example in my case. It's like, I didn't understand programming. Like, I tried for literally 20 years. I started programming when I was 20, and it just clicked one day. And that's kind of what you need. You need to have that click moment with meditation. And once you do, it's a skill for life. And you'll feel dumb in retrospect. That everyone feels dumb once they get meditation. They're like, oh, so this is what it was. So yeah, your past has nothing to do with especially your capacity to be self-aware. Even if you have the most average human brain, you still have the capacity to be self-aware and to become the best version of yourself. Your past means nothing. It doesn't, I don't care. I struggled for so long. Didn't mean anything because once I realized how to do it, I was like, oh, so that's what it is. It really wasn't that difficult. So yeah, you being addicted to porn as well is not an excuse to be addicted to porn. There is no excuse. There is no external factor that is the reason why you are this way. It is up to you to essentially, it's up to you to realize that it's not about circumstance, that it's actually about your own mind and that you have self-control at the end of the day. Basically, the narrative I'm trying to spin is that you have that control, you just don't know how to do it yet. And that's that, and it's understandable because, when all you know is addiction and you've never actually felt, letting go, then that makes sense because it's like, and I think that's why a lot of people are skeptical about meditation because it's like, you're describing things that are just completely foreign to, a lot of people addicted, myself included. I was very skeptical about meditation. I was like, I don't really understand. Like letting go, it's like you think that your judgment and you think that your struggle is the truth because that's all you've ever experienced. But yeah, once you experience that clarity, it's like, oh my God, I've been misled this whole time. And so, yeah, I think, basically the point is circumstances don't dictate how you live your life. You dictate how you live your life because you make the decisions at the end of the day. I think what happens is that a lot of people, they try a million different things, but they still continue to struggle, with their recovery. And so they instinctively assume that it's not them, rather it's everything else around them. Truth is, it is you. You are the problem because, but you're also the solution as well. You're the problem because you don't know how to beat it, but you are the solution because you have the power to believe it. So yeah, your porn addiction is not the problem. Your circumstances aren't the problem. The problem is that you don't have the technique yet in order to easily overcome it. So yeah, it's just a matter of technique. That's all it is. It's not your circumstances. It's not who you are, allegedly. It's that you don't know how to do it. And all it is about learning how to do it. Start with the basics. Learn, understand how awareness will help you. Understand the basics of meditation. Practice meditation every day. The more you build these skills, the more they will make sense. And then eventually you get to a point where you're like, oh my God, so I can actually replace porn completely because I have all the coping mechanisms in place in order to address it. So yeah, your porn addiction is not the problem. It is merely a symptom to your problem. Your problem is that you just don't know how to control your mind yet, nor do you know how to get to a point of how you can eventually control your mind, which is saying you don't know what the process is. If you'd like to learn about the process, you can head to NeverFapDeluxe.com, where the homepage describes 90% of the process. Essentially, it comes down to meditating 10 minutes each day, but there's specifics. You want to understand, coping mechanisms, the overall context of, what mental balance is, how that helps you. Because when you understand these things, I guess it gives more purpose to the process. It's like, so I'm doing these things in order to get to, achieve X, Y, and Z. So that is the topic. Hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully it was sexy, liking to be sexy on the show. And that brings us to... That brings us to the viewer mail. The viewer mail. The viewer mail. Wow. The viewer mail with me, Julius Reed. Today's viewer mail comes from Audrey Cook. Didn't we have like Andrew Cook and then another Andrew? I mean, these names not very original. That's a fail. Audrey Cook from Halifax, Canada. Halifax. I'm going to name my daughter Halifax. I'm going to propose it to my partner, see what happens. She's definitely going to reject it. She's into boring names. She's like, James, and, Ben. And no, we want exotic names like June. June's exotic, name it after month or something. Anyway, Audrey says, hey, J-Dog. I tried using my sister as a fleshlight, and now I'm looking at 30 years jail. Do you have any recommendations on how best to approach this situation? Well, obviously apologising to your sister, probably might help. I know women love a good tit grab as well, especially siblings, just to show that you really care. So I can recommend that. Obviously, I don't have a sister, but I can recommend that you tit grab your sister. Actually, no, that's technically promoting sexual assault. But we'll move on. I assume you haven't gone to court yet, Audrey. I definitely recommend sleeping with the judge. It's always worked for me personally. And hey, free sex is good sex. So I can recommend that. Definitely don't sleep with the judge. I could get into a lot of trouble. But definitely sleep with the judge. It's hot. You watch judge porn. Why not make it a reality? Because you'll go to jail. Chances are, however, you probably don't have a big penis like I do, Audrey. So you won't be able to impress the judge all that much. What with that inferior subhuman penis of yours, Audrey? Because you are below the reed. Everyone is below the reed. The reed obviously sits at the top of the pyramid, and then below him, Donald Trump obviously is below me, and then I guess the rest of the population, and then I guess I'm above God. Yeah, I'm just saying I'm like above God. Hopefully that doesn't offend everyone. Chances are, you don't have, you won't be able to impress the judge because you've got a small dick. So you may just have to get used to being raped every night by your cellmate. Maybe put a banana up there. I don't know. Just, loosen it up. Spit on it. I don't know. Anything that helps lubricate is always going to help. Which isn't too bad if you're into S&M and in general, the degradation that is listening to the NeverFap Deluxe Daily. That's right. That's a cheerful... Oh, yes, I love this one. The degradation that is NeverFap Deluxe Daily. And for God's sakes, just spend the money next time to get a proper good brand fleshlight, okay? For $40, you're looking at something mid-range, well-built, and, something you can pass on to your children as well, which is important. You want them to experience the fun that you had as well. So that's my advice. Obviously, terrible advice. That brings us to the end of the show. Thank you, VML. The outro, Facebook, Twitter, Discord, Reddit, Castbox. Send us an email, neverfapdeluxe@gmail.com. Check out the website. And also, I do another podcast, the Writers Daily podcast. It's a good one, I think. And as always, look after your mental health.